Craftsman Days are here at Lowe's with big savings on the tools you need. Right now, get a free select tool when you buy the Craftsman V20 2-pack battery kit. Whether it's the backyard, the bathroom, or beyond, Craftsman has the tools to help you power through and get the project done right. Because DIYing is unpredictable, but your tools shouldn't be. Shop Craftsman at Lowe's today. Valid through 6/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Always follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard with you live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Very busy and exciting show lined up over the next 3 hours. Great guest today. Paul Bovi in 30 minutes, professional sports bettor, huge lifelong New York Knicks fan. Matt Vasgersian on Major League Baseball. Brett McMurphy on the big college football news from yesterday. We have a big Game 2 tonight in the NHL. Plenty of props to get into. A full Major League Baseball card. And Pauly, the NBA as well. So this is what it looks like when the Thunder show up and play to their power rating in the playoffs, huh?
That's right.
I'd say the fourth time now in the playoffs they've done this. They screwed around a couple times against Memphis. For a majority of the series against Denver. But they have their game faces on here through 2 games against Minnesota, evidently.
Yep, Williams was great. SGA was dynamite. If they play like that, nobody can beat them. And with that defense, how nasty it is, and man, what they did offensively, good luck. You don't stand a chance. It was, bad luck that Randall had a terrible game. Worst game he's had in a long time. And again, Naz Reid can't make a 3 in DiVincenzo. But you got aggressive Ant. He was 1 of 9 from 3, but he played well. He didn't get a lot of help. And then if Williams is going to play like that, SGA's stat line's incredible. 1 turnover, 12 of 21, 8 assists, 1 3-pointer.
Yeah.
So he's just a mid-range assassin. And what Williams did with 26 and 10, this is some scary stuff, man.
How about this? They didn't even hit their threes last night.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City. I think they were at 9 of 33, and I turned the game off.
Right.
I mean, it was such a blowout, and it was never competitive, really, beyond the first half. And I didn't even think the first half was that great, to be honest. And again, when they show up and they're that 68-win regular season team and the best point differential of all time, then they can make teams look silly. I mean, I got a couple of texts from my life, you know him as well, my lifelong Wolves buddy. He's watched a majority, like 90% of their games since they came into existence. And he goes, it sucks. I've been suffering as a fan for 36 years. And he said, Minnesota's really good. And Oklahoma City is making them look like a bad basketball team. That's how good Oklahoma City is. And he also said, think about this for a second. He told me that a lot of people, he said the funny thing is when the Wolves began to build this roster about 6 years ago, they did it not with beating Golden State in mind. He said they built it to fill the void that they knew would soon be left when Golden State aged out. But he said it feels like the Thunder just cut in line. And now they might be here for the next decade plus.
Oh, that's a good point. You're talking about one guy on the roster that's over 30. And I think all these other guys are 27 and under. So good luck, right? And do they ever use all these assets and acquire somebody? Maybe if they win the title, you say no. And you just use all these picks and you just have this young talent. This is 60 wins now by double digits. Right there behind probably the greatest team of all time, the 17 Warriors.
Yeah, right.
Certainly the best offense of all time, in my opinion. But it's scary that I didn't see much of it against Denver. It was disappointing. Denver was 21st defensively. Why they had so many issues offensively other than Game 2, and why they had the issues in Denver. But they've been great in this series.
Oh, we're seeing it now.
Yeah, that's right. And because this is an all-time great defense. Number 1 in all these categories. We've talked about the point differential. Number 1 in defense going away, rim protection, turnovers, points off turnovers, all of it. And the other one thing, too, Minnesota had 1 free throw in the first half. There's no way you're going to beat them doing that. You're going to have to play a A-plus game. And now can you get a game in Minnesota? Can this thing even go back to OKC?
Well, that's the thing. So, I mean, Minnesota's going to win Game 3 outright, or they're going to get buried again, and the series is over with. Like, I don't even care about the points, to be honest. They're either going to win the game or Oklahoma City's going to embarrass them yet again.
Well, how strong are you on this now? Now they're $3 to win the title. So now that everyone thinks it's just a formality, what's happening here. Although I think the Pacers have a lot to say about it. because they have so many guys that can score. It'd be a great matchup, even though it didn't go well for them in the regular season. But to be $3 now to win it all.
Well, if they're going to be $6 against the Pacers, if that's the look-ahead number, then certain that actually might be a little bit light. Who knows? Based on how this series is trending right now, and I think we could spend like a minute revisiting the trade again. And I'm not talking about Randall and DiVincenzo for Karl Anthony Towns.
Is it the worst trade in history?
I'm talking about the Rudy Gobert trade.
Oh, that trade.
That trade.
SGA trade.
Well, no, not that one, because that's the Rudy Gobert trade. Like, you gave up so much to get this guy, and I'm sorry, he does nothing at all on one side of the court. Again, you basically, I'm not going to say you mortgaged the entire future here, but you gave up a ton of picks, and this guy can only play defense. And again, what has he done in this series? You would think that for somebody that they're going to give, he's going to have an impact on the series at some point. But how many times has Rudy Gobert been unplayable in a big playoff series or giving the team nothing? Mm-hmm. Way too often for how much, like, the respect that this guy gets and how people think he is a good basketball player. Oh, man, he kills me. I can't stand watching him play.
Yeah. I can't believe what's happening to Naz Reid. 0 of 12 from 3, 4 of 19 in the series. DiVincenzo, 5 of 18 and 6 of 22. Plus, we always talked about, what Minnesota could do. OKC made the adjustments as well. 5 of 24 on contested threes. 60% less than game 1. Wide open threes, 6 for 15, which they cut down big time from game 1. So that was.
But I mean, like, guys like Reed still had looks last night.
Oh, yeah. He's been terrible.
It just, the shot, he can't get any. I think half those shots were halfway down and back out, but so that hurts him, obviously, a little bit unlucky with that, but they have to go down, and they're not, and the bench was much better last night. Alexander Walker was really good for them.
I'll tell you, the Knicks better win tonight. We could be looking at some short series. Hello, Carolina. Florida's probably going to sweep or win in 5.
Why did I not? I brought it up on the air 5 times. Why did I not bet the Panthers to sweep them? Why?
After game 1 or before?
After game 1.
After game 1, yeah.
After game 1.
Well, I thought
it was 5-1.
Yeah, I know. I thought you'd see something last night.
Oh, you saw
7 shots through 2 periods. The home crowd chanting, "Shoot the puck, shoot the puck." Anderson gets chased. What a fiasco!
I got to tell you,
man.
I mean, we can spend a little bit more time on this a little bit later on. If it doesn't matter, this happens to be the Carolina Hurricanes we're talking about now, but it could be a team like them in any sport who repeatedly doesn't show up when it matters most. I cancel my season tickets.
Yeah.
I'm done. I've had enough.
14 in a row?
Yeah.
14 in a row.
And they're not even competitive in these games.
I know.
You got home ice.
Yeah.
You're small favorites here in the first 2 games.
Tough.
And it's unwatchable crap.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, was that bad. And if you think that's bad, well, it is historically bad and continues to go that way. And what's it going to be like this weekend in Denver at Coors Field when the Rockies host Aaron Judge and the Yankees? And tonight it's Tanner Gordon against Clark Schmidt. The Yankees team total is 7.5.
Has to be. Number 1, they're minus 550 to win the series. How about that?
Do you see a number of them to sweep?
Yep. Gordon, last 2 years, 9 starts, 0-7 with an 8.19 ERA.
Oh, this is going to go well.
Yep. So these just between the numbers to win the series, to be over $3 on the road, taking on what likely the worst team in the history of baseball, and you're throwing this kid.
They're going to get good crowds this weekend, though, because it is the New York Yankees. Right? And, I mean, walk-in prices for Rockies games this year are going to be 39 cents. This is going to be the lone exception, I think, for the weekend. Judge to homer in the game tonight, as low as plus 125.
Oh, my God.
I've never seen anything like that before in my entire life.
No.
The high water mark I saw on him a little earlier was plus 170. This will tell you. Forget Judge for a second. Grisham he's having a great year. He's got 12 dingers. He's as low as 2-1 to hit a home run tonight. Dominguez is like plus 240. He's below 3-1 like everywhere when I was looking. And oh, by the way, tomorrow it's a day game as well. Well, tonight's not, but Saturday and Sunday, both games are day games. Saturday, it's Fried versus Freeland. Freeland's 0-6. He's actually got some respectable, underlying numbers. Sunday is Warren against Senzatella. My God, they're lucky they don't have to throw Marquez out there, I guess, this weekend.
Yeah, I know.
But the updated win total for the Colorado Rockies that I saw today is 38.5. I think it was on either Monday of this week or last Friday when I brought it up and said it was 44.5. You had to bet the under. 38.5 updated win total. And books like Circa, they do this for all their games in baseball. They offer alternate lines. And there's a tab on the app that you can hit that's a 2.5 run line on every game. They're not even offering 2.5 runs. They did not. I didn't see it against yesterday or the day before against the Phillies. They were 3.5. Now the Rockies covered the 3.5 line yesterday. They were 3.5, I think, plus 125, or it might have been minus 125. But think about that. You can't even find a 2.5 run line at some books. That's how bad they are.
How about taking this? You could have had 6-1 most runs on the day. How good does that look?
For the Yankees?
Yeah. 6-1?
Oh, I'm in for all of it.
I mean, how many runs are they going to score?
Except for Judge
With
plus
this guy?
125 to hit a home run.
Yeah. Minus 140 to have a walk isn't that bad. I mean, you think they're going to pitch around him, too.
Oh, you know
Just
what?
because the intimidation factor, the guy might hit it 1,000 miles.
Well, how about this? How about, can you find a series prop on total home runs for Judge this weekend? Or if every day, tonight, tomorrow, Sunday, you bet Judge 2+ home runs.
Yeah.
Huh?
How high is it going to go, right? Because they were taking money the other day against the Phillies. It's like, okay, you're at home, but who cares, all right? Yep. Who cares? Smarter bets start here and last all year long with VSiN Pro. You get the morning email, which is so good. Bill 80 was great today, talking about Jay Sarno and in the new contest here. And while Derek did his homework and told the story, and Bill 80 lives, he bought Jay Sarno's old house. He had no idea. It's an incredible read today, plus about the contest and Sarno and his legacy as well. You get every best bet, every host, every guest, the dog videos, the betting splits, and all the betting trends from Mackinnon. VSiN.com/subscribe. 14 months, less than 50 cents a day. Get in here, damn it. VSiN.com/subscribe.
My God, I don't even see 8-1 on Judge to hit 2 home runs tonight. So maybe not. I am tying in that Yankees game with the NBA game tonight. I'll tell you how I'm doing it next here on VSiN.
If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Huge game tonight. Can't wait. I love how the Knicks, by the way, have played back-to-back Fridays.
Yeah.
Don't care. Clear your plans, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And so in game one, they were about a 4.5-point favorite against the Pacers. They were in control a lot of it. You all know how that went. And blew it late. Huge collapse, one of the biggest of all time. So the number for game two tonight, Pauly, turned into a 6.5-point favorite for the Knicks. Now that number's gone. It's down to still 6. Other books are showing some 5.5s out there.
Well, you're paying the season on the line must-win tax.
And the zigzag theory.
Yep, right.
Well, that's a big number.
It is. It is. So this is a tough handicap. This one, because you think the Knicks come out pissed off. We blew it. Embarrassing. Season on the line. Got to have it. If we lose, we're done. On the flip side, do you think Indiana's the better team, or Indiana can continue to knock down threes, and maybe the Knicks also come out and it's gloomy Gus? The thing I can't get away from is the starters, that the Knicks starters have been outscored in the playoffs, which we keep talking about, and they were minus 16 in game one. And remember, the big run in the fourth quarter happened with Brunson on the bench. The Pacers are now plus 37 now in the playoffs with the starting five, the net rating, how good it's been. But this goes back to what Chris Finch said after game one leading into game two. This was so good. There's just no way you can even come close or match the desperation when you're the road team and you win game one, what the home team has to do in game two. There's just no way. You can't match it. So you really have to come out and play inspired, unbelievable ball, shoot lights out, because it's just so difficult. Now, it's happened. Minnesota did it last year. Indiana did it against Cleveland. I know they were down big at the miracle comeback. So it can happen. But Finch made an excellent point about it's just so hard to match that they're coming out with the season on the line and the ultimate desperation, and you already have mission accomplished, put the win in my pocket, right? I already got the split. So that's why this one's so tough.
I will say this, under no circumstance, before the game tips off, would I lay 5.5, 6, or 6.5 points with the Knicks. I think the number is outrageous.
They could blow them out, sure. But also they could... I'll be surprised if Indiana wins, but I understand. Well, this is just a tough handicap, and also could be a blowout, too. Yep.
But I also add this to it. If the locations were reversed, right, meaning Indiana had home court for the first 2 games, and the game played out exactly like it did in Game 1, and the Knicks went to Indiana and had a lead big, right, that they blew late down the stretch like they did in Game 1, and they were a 6-point dog, or let's say a 4.5, 5-point dog tonight, I would unload on the Knicks money line to win the game. So I'm confident they win the game. I just don't want to lay the points. So to go back to what we finished segment 1 talking about with the Yankees and trying to find ways to fade the Rockies every single day somehow, I'm on a 2-team money line New York parlay tonight. Yankees just to beat the Rockies, that's it. And the Knicks just to win the game. That's all they got to do. It was a little bit less than -114 here at Circa.
Okay. And I also like a couple props. And I know you're on one of these already. So a huge adjustment and sub in Game 1 was Carlisle taking Turner out and putting Toppin in.
Sure.
And he just sang his praises after the game. So he only played 20 minutes, but he had 10 rebounds and 8 points. His rebounds are 3.5. His points are 7.5. I love the rebounds over, that he's just so damn athletic, and he can wreak havoc here, and he's going to get more minutes because it didn't go well defensively for Turner. Maybe it's correlated. Maybe you want to play some Turner under and some Toppin over. And Turner had 14 and 5 in 31 minutes in the first game, but a lot of those points were early in the first quarter. That was a huge substitution. Remember, Toppin had the dunk. He had 2 dunks. He had the dunk where they didn't foul in overtime. He had the ferocious putback as well that Robinson and the guys didn't box out. So they love his energy. They love that he's from the area and was a Knick. And Carlisle just loves this guy and what he said after the game. So I expect a lot more minutes for Toppin. And 3.5's too low, and he had 10 in the first game. So that's one he can land on. I wouldn't be surprised. He also figures to be playing if they're getting blown out, too. That's the other thing.
Sure.
He'll probably sit Turner, and Toppin get a lot of run, too, and go over 7.5 and get it done with the points.
Paul, I laddered the Toppin props yesterday, had that in pocket. I keep adding rebound props for him because the numbers are still just too good. They're moving a little bit, but they're still too tantalizing, and I can't pass up on them. And to your point about Turner, well, how about this? I'll tie in Karl-Anthony Towns to all of this because his points prop for tonight is 23.5. As you all know, Towns had 35 in Game 1. He was 11 of 17 shooting in that game, 4 of 8 from 3. In the 2 regular season matchups, in 2 of those games, Towns had 40 on 14 of 23 shooting, and he had 30 on 11 of 19 shooting. In 12 total career regular season games against Miles Turner, Karl-Anthony Towns has averaged more than 29 points per game on 54+% shooting and almost 45% shooting from deep. That's absolutely remarkable, and I think it's 18+ field goal attempts per game. He has owned and destroyed Miles Turner. So based on my expectations, how I think that's going to continue, I think there's an angle here. And oh, by the way, the Pacers are not a good rebounding team, and the Knicks have Cat, who had double figures, Josh Hart, who had double figures. Those 2 guys are going to be animals on the glass the entire series. Don't forget about Mitchell Robinson. Like, there's really nobody in that starting 5 for the Pacers to slow down the rebounding for the Knicks, unless you would inject the athleticism, the skill set overall of Obi Toppin more into the game. I love what he did in Game 1, and so that's many reasons why I just kept adding him to go over his rebounding numbers.
Well, no offense. Who cares? The coach was so impressed with
That's
it.
exactly right.
He loves his game. You can find 18-1 double-double. I don't mind that either.
18, that's a good look.
I mean, he already had the 10 rebounds. So
what's the most rebounds in the game tonight?
That's your. Yeah,
okay. If his prop is 3.5, he's got to be a massive number for most rebounds.
Yeah.
So,
but you could be again. I think this is going to be a crazy series in terms of the Knicks have already shown they're going to run with them, and it's going to be a frenetic pace. And plus, there's so many star players out there that can knock down shots and knock down threes. There's no answer for Towns. Brunson's going to get what he wants. They also, I felt, got a tough whistle at times. They're constantly bumping him. And he's not getting to the free throw line as much as we thought, or not getting a call. So you have that angle. Halliburton's going to go off. So I think it's going to be high scoring and leading to a lot of over props and also three-pointers, too. OG, Cat, all these guys. Yeah, right. And they're going to knock down threes. Halliburton and Brunson, too. So all that stuff came out in game one as well.
I'll give you another guy that I want tonight because I was betting Josh Hart stuff before the series started, including most rebounds in the series at plus 550. He had 13 in the first game. A double-double on Josh Hart tonight is even money. Now, he did not have one in game one, but he had 8 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists. And this is a great write-up today from Dan Karpuk at vsin.com, as always. He had 14 potential assists and made 67 passes in game one. So Hart double-double is even money. Triple-double if you want to get bonkers. Dan has 13-1. I found 11-1 and put a little bit more than pizza money on that. He has 10 triple-doubles this season. But I think Josh Hart, who I think he's one of the guys I advocated for betting at a massive number. I think it was 65-1 for the Eastern Conference Finals MVP before it started. I think there's a path here. And by the way, Thibodeau will play him 40-plus minutes every game. And I think that actually, if it's a blowout, maybe not. But you know what I'm saying. And I think there's an angle here where he's going to have a really, really strong series as well. The Brunson points prop is 29.5 over juice to the gills.
$1.30 to have the most points tonight. Halliburton's $1.50 for most assists. How many is Brunson going to have, right? So that's why I think Halliburton's got to be the bet there.
Yeah.
If you've ever been injured in Nevada in a car crash, slip and fall, because someone else was careless, in moments like that, what you do next really matters. That's why you need Lasso Injury Law in Las Vegas. He won the largest slip and fall in the United States. It's not your typical personal injury firm. They're a boutique law office that gives you one-on-one attention. At Lasso Injury Law, you're not just a case number. You're a real person with a real story, and they'll fight for you like family. Al started this firm for a reason. His own brother was permanently disabled in a serious crash. Al saw firsthand how the system can fail victims. He changed everything, left his business, went to law school, dedicated his life to helping people just like you. Now with over 20 years of experience and millions recovered, Al and his team bring passion and purpose to every case. Whether you're local or come from out of state, Al puts it simply, when someone's been hurt, they don't need excuses, they need answers, support, and results. 702-625-8777, free consultation. You won't hit voicemail. There's a team that is ready to help. 702-625-8777. Al took great care of me, did phenomenal work with Mitch. Lasso Injury Law, built on purpose, driven by results. They fight for you. LassoInjuryLaw.com. If you're ever in a car crash, you call him up. He'll tell you exactly what to do, and then get you the results that you need and what you want.
Ask and you shall receive. Obi Toppin is 80-1 most rebounds in this game tonight.
Come on. Well, good job offering it. DK doesn't have it.
That's at Bet365. Boy, the menu at Bet365 blows me away in almost every sport.
Good job.
But 80-1 tonight, would you take a flyer on that, or would you want a little bit more?
No, that's good enough.
Big number.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was going to be about 100-1 or maybe a little bit more on that one, but because his prop is 3.5 for tonight. We'll continue going down this path.
Yeah.
Pro Sports Bettor, lifelong Knicks fan, Paul Bovi on the program. As a very sharp bettor, how much stock does he put into that brutal Game 1 loss, and if it lingers into Game 2 tonight?
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Much more on Game 2 tonight. Knicks, Pacers from the Garden. Head out here to the Progressive Guest Line. Professional sports bettor, lifelong New York Knicks fan Paul Bovi joins the program. Good afternoon, buddy. How you hanging in?
I'm trying to get over my PTMS, post-traumatic meltdown syndrome. But when you get beat up, you got to go back to school the next day and face the kids. And I got to face Pauly because Pauly, as we know, is all over Indiana, and he let me know before the series. So I'm headed to the Garden tonight and hoping for the best.
I want to ask you this, though. Okay, based on that, as a professional sport, you're very level-headed, obviously. You've been doing this for a long, long time. And it goes for tonight's series, but also like any series in any sport in general, right? These guys are pros, as we all know. How much does that brutal collapse factor into your opinion of maybe betting this game tonight, thinking how much it actually might linger here 2 days later?
All right, so I don't think anybody can question the Knicks' resiliency. Mm-hmm. This team came back from a pair of 20-point deficits against the Celtics on the road, an 11-point deficit against the Pistons, also on the road. They lost their first home game to Detroit. And in Game 4 against the Celtics, I was there. They were down by 11 at halftime. Came back, won the game. So the Knicks have been able to just find what's needed and come out of the hole and win games. So I have faith in them. I don't think they're going to throw in the towel, and I still think they have advantages over Indiana. Indiana has won 2 basketball games this year against them. They shot 15 of 37 from beyond the arc the other night. We all know what happened in the last quarter, in the last few minutes. And also 21 of 46. And in the other games, 3 of 30 and 9 of 31. The Knicks have outscored them in the 4 games by 24 points. They are 147 of 229 inside the arc, outscored them in the paint. So the Knicks have gotten the best of it. And you know, I'm just going to tell you, you guys have watched basketball. I've played basketball. I don't ever remember a shot like that. The one Halliburton hit. I can't remember a shot like that. I promise you, if David Stern was still the commissioner, I would think he would have had a string attached to the ball.
Yeah, I know. I said the same thing. I've seen it from a free throw line. I haven't seen it from that far out where it goes straight up and then comes back down. You're exactly right. Everything's accurate about the offense. They have no answer for Towns. They'll have no answer for Brunson, and they were great offensively. Do you see the whole series playing out as overs, that it appears it's going to be up and down and so many high-scoring games?
Well, you guys pointed this out. I don't think the Knicks want that. The Pacers bench is better. There is no doubt what McConnell does. I don't know how he gets to the rim every single time, and got Matherin and Nesmith. You just got a great bench there, and their bench minutes 78 versus the Knicks 56. The starters of the Knicks played a few more minutes, 18. I think the Knicks want to slow it down a little bit. I did take the Pacers team total under 26.5 in the first quarter tonight because I think the Knicks are going to be fully invested in defense. I saw that when the Celtics blew them out in Game 5. They came in Game 6. I played the Celtics team total under, and it was never in doubt. The Knicks just buckled down on these guys from beyond the arc, and I think they're going to do that tonight, fully invested in the defense.
Don't hate that. I know other people who I respect that bet the NBA said that they approached it as soon as the numbers came out by betting the Knicks early on, either first quarter or for the first half.
Yeah, I think, look, we don't know what's going to happen. This game will play out. We don't know what's going to happen to the pace of the game over an extended period. But the Knicks will at least try to play slow down basketball early on. They have advantages in the half court. Let them take advantage of that. And as I said, they've gotten the better of it throughout the year. The other night, a different story. And I'm not sure, and I know, Pauly, you said the Knicks choked. I'm not sure it's the case of the Knicks shooting 3 bogeys on the last 3 holes. More of a case of the Pacers with an eagle and a birdie, because the numbers, what they put up in terms of percentage from beyond the arc late was ridiculous. I'm not saying there weren't some questionable coaching decisions along those lines, but it could have been better. A couple calls, maybe 1 or 2 could have went the Knicks' way. Maybe a challenge was wasted early on. Yes, it was.
Yes.
But yes, it was. I would say that. Let me say that more emphatically. It was because the goaltending call would have, it probably would have stuck. I mean, it would have. But I think they'll win the game tonight, and this series will advance
You're right.
with a split to Indiana.
Okay, if they blow them out, but everyone forgets game one, and now we'll go to Indiana and you try to get a game there. What if they lose, though? This has been such a great story. 25-year drought you were in, the season tickets, what you went through, all the bad teams, the Isaiah Thomas crap, all the bad contracts. Everyone is wearing Knicks gear, and they're 7th Street's alive and 7th Avenue. Well, I mean, if they lose, then what happens? How do you feel tonight if they blow it?
If they blow it, I would have to agree with you. I heard you earlier. The series is likely over. I think that would be a little bit too much to ask of the Knicks to overcome. And I got to tell you, the city is probably down on the Knicks right now, and I feel better about that. I'm a stock market guy, and I really appreciate when everybody is negative because it's usually a good sign, because I know the ticket prices have actually plunged in the last few hours. So
wow.
I think people are just a little soured after that first game, but like I said, that could be a positive.
Wow. Okay, so did that change because you've had season tickets again going back to the 80s, did that change your approach tonight? And because prices now have plummeted, you might not sell them, you might actually go to the game?
Oh, no, I'm going. I
Okay.
mean, I don't trade, dollars for experience. We have 3 tickets. I know one will be sold. Oh, I'm sorry. None will be sold tonight. But we always take a peek at the market just to see what's happening. And, sometimes it just ratchets up and sometimes it just craters,
Yeah.
So tonight is one of those nights. It just headed down.
Now, you've admitted this before on the air. It's difficult for you to watch games if you have money on them occasionally, going back to like Survivor last year, or in this case, if you're a fan of the team like the Knicks are. How would you have reacted if you were at the game, at the Garden for game one?
I don't know, but like I said to you off air, I was glad that I had an engagement that I had to address at 10:40 in the evening, which forced me to go online. And I probably would have done a Johnny Depp to the hotel room had I been watching, but I didn't have that opportunity because I had to exercise restraint as I was going back and forth with the host, and he's giving me the play-by-play. And I actually heard the play-by-play of Halliburton's shot from him, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. But anyway, lo and behold, I did replay it probably 15 times, always looking for a different result, but it went through every time.
All right, so you have the one bet on the Celtics team total first quarter under 26.5. Anything else? Any player props or any other bets that you have for the game?
Well, I had Josh Hart the other night rebounds. Makes a lot of sense because last year, before the abdominal strain, he had 46 rebounds in the first 3 games, and in the last 4 games, he only had 30. So that really impacted him, and I think his main focus is to hit the boards because you have other scorers. So I do still favor Josh Hart. I think he had 11 the other night. He went over, I'm not going to say it was comfortable, but he went over by, I think it was 1.5?
Yeah.
I think it was 9.5 or 10.5, whatever it was. It went over comfortably, somewhat comfortably.
Great job, my man. Good luck tonight. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks, guys. Take care.
You're
Go
great.
get him, pal.
Paul Bovi, Pro Sports Bettor, was the VP of sales for Oppenheimer back in the day, what he mentioned with the stock market. Here's the thing, though. You are playing, this is small sample theater, and this is what got Missoula and the Celtics beat. Well, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing and shoot 53s. Yeah, but you can stink it up for 3. It's a best of 7. You can have 3 horrible games. That's what happened, right? Indiana can shoot the lights out for four games. They can do it. They've done it, and they can do it again tonight. So that's the thing about, well, will they play like this? Well, now, the Neesmith thing won't happen again.
No, God, no.
But no. But certainly, all these guys can shoot, and so many of these guys can score. And I talked about their effective field goal percentage is number 1 all-time right now far in the playoffs.
It might not be Neesmith, but it could be like 3 other guys
That's
for them.
right.
So
That's right.
win-lose up next, and we'll hit the big news in college football from yesterday. And my, oh my, this changes things.
If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine. And maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them. From disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Couple big tickets cashed. It always happens. Check out those game leaders. Game 2, T-Wolves Thunder. Most threes, McDaniels 20-1. Most rebounds, Williams 25-1. Maybe something cashes tonight. Big.
Yeah.
Consider it could be a blowout. Panthers Hurricanes Game 2. Forsling first goal 70-1. First goal of the playoffs. Anytime 14-1. Bennett to score twice 27-1. Barkov last goal 14-1. Florida on the out line minus 4.5 goals 30-1. Jonathan Davis saw that. Good job, John. But that's thought that'd be higher. Shutout 8-1. Most runs Angels 11-1. Highest scoring game Dead Heat Angels Ace plus 450. Braves Nats 7-1. Fever 3.5 up to 4.5. They win by 5. Clark didn't have a 3.
No,
and only had 5 dimes.
So that was happening right away after our show. I didn't have a chance to watch that, but they were in trouble for most of that game again, and somehow they covered.
Low scoring, yes, absolutely. And while we were talking to Paul Bovi, a 13 spot by the Red Sox in the 8th. It's 19-4 Boston, top of the 9th. Game 1 of a doubleheader. Devers with a bomb. Baltimore.
He's got 2 and 8 RBIs.
He's got 2?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Baltimore going to drop to 16-33. Subscribe, be part of the team. VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos. At Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. We'll put you on. Look at this. Charles Schwab at the Challenge, the golf tournament. You got blackjack and craps tables there. Look at this. 18th hole, roll the dice. I can't believe that.
There you go.
What a setup. I wasn't expecting that.
No,
I also wasn't expecting Michael Block to have to shoot a better score than Scheffler so far. Scheffler was in trouble of missing a cut there for a while.
Did you see how he started his round yesterday, Scheffler?
No.
Eagle birdie.
Oh, really?
And then that was it.
Really?
Oh, it looked like he was going to run away with another tournament.
Oh, wow. This is great. We always show these dog videos where the old fella and then trying to get down the stairs.
Oh, they built him something
Look
here?
at what the owners, the humans, built for the guy. It's like a robot coming down device with the tray on top. Got the little hat on. Look at the face, right? Good mug.
It's like a makeshift escalator here, huh?
Yes. Well
I
said.
love this.
Look how it's got the guardrails and it's attached and all the way down. This is incredible. You can't stop science. Can't stop people. How smart they are. That is awesome. Very good. Let me show you this one. Don't freak out. Okay? This is an alpha, right? Look at the dogs. The husky, they're all fighting. They're all fighting right in the back. Yeah. They're a little skirmish in the backyard. They're playing. I'm the boss. No, you're the boss. All right, get out of my territory. And then here comes the other guy. Now look at that's a Cane Corso who bows down to this guy. And then he comes over. Yeah, what about it? Okay, relax.
Oh, so he's the king of the jungle there.
Yep, the explanation is that's the king, but they respect him because he raised them and he's the older one and he's
beautiful.
the boss. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know something like, you ever seen a Cane Corso do that though?
No.
I mean, look at this. The Cane Corso, he goes right over and he bows down. Actually bows down and gets
That's
out of
a
the way.
huge-looking dog. Yeah, right.
Absolutely. And then at the end, he's like, yeah. The other one puts the other one down and starts talking trash. Well, you behave. You knock that off. That's great. That is some strong stuff. Thanks to the people who sent that in at Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. Edge Boost, the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums, or cashback rewards. 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today. EdgeBoost.bet, code FTM. Deposit $25 and Edge Boost will match it. EdgeBoost.bet.
Oh, here you go. Scotty got hurt on a swing on number 2 yesterday. No wonder why.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll do it.
There it is. All right, we'll talk to Brett McMurphy coming up later in the show. he had the story yesterday how they're no more, how they've changed the seeding now. It's just going to be based on the rankings and in order. With the college football playoff, and also according to Brett, this will be the last year of 12. They're going to 14 or 16.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at it now, straight seeding, how the bracket would have been. So you look at the top 4 teams. Did you see? It would have been Oregon,
Georgia,
Texas, and Penn State.
Correct.
So guess what? Why are we going to play conference title games? There's no need.
There's no
Those
need.
would have been exhibitions, and maybe you could have sat guys. You could have made the argument, why am I even playing people?
Right. Well, I'll tell you, Pauly, this does affect betting, in my opinion, like futures, because based on what happened last year in year one, until Ohio State really took off, I mean, like, this thing was kind of wide open. And I know people who had, 500 to 1 on Boise, huge numbers on Arizona State, and they almost beat Texas, by the way, in that game.
Yep.
So the first team that I bet when the numbers were posted after last year, because I love what Dillingham did as the coach of Arizona State, and I love which guys they were bringing back on the team. They lost Scadaboo, which stinks because he's so good at running back. I bet them at 300 to 1. They're currently 100 to 1, but I would not make a bet on Arizona State right now at 300 to 1 because they got a bye last year.
Right.
And unless they're in the top 4 this year, which to me is going to be very unlikely, then they're going to have to go all the way beginning with the first round game. And they have to win 1, 2, 3. They have to win 5 games next year in the playoff. I don't like their chances already. So with the bye week, sure, 301's fun.
Boise would have played Indiana, Clemson, Notre Dame, Arizona State, Ohio State, SMU, Tennessee. Assuming the better seeds all would have won. Georgia, Tennessee, Texas, Ohio State, Penn State, Notre Dame, Oregon, Indiana. And now the other question is they're going to add more teams. So then what's that going to look like? And does that pave the way for what we don't want to see, that a 7-5 team can get in? Because you're looking at conference records to determine who makes your conference title games. And if someone could be sitting there with a bad non-conference record, but was, 5-2 in the conference, or was 7-2 in conference, but won a 5-way tie or something?
I'll tell you what it means. We're going to get inundated with even more SEC and Big Ten teams in the playoff. And, oh, by the way, speaking of betting futures then, it kind of makes me want to go out and shop for the best numbers on some of these, I'll call them fringe teams from those conferences. Maybe like a South Carolina this year to win it, or a team from the Big Ten, because that's the direction they're going to look.
Unbelievable.
And
right.
and last year, right, if they had the expanded, let's say it was 16 last year, how many more teams get in from the SEC? Bama, Ole Miss, South Carolina, all 3 of them get in?
It's incredible, right? It's like you couldn't get Alabama in, so you're still unhappy. You haven't won it in 2 years. That's on you. Plus, you weren't that good. That's the other thing.
Well, now,
but with the changes,
that lasted for 1 year where a team like Boise State had a real decent path then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because of where they fell in the rankings, were they the 3 seed last year? Based on overall the seeding? I think they were the 3 and Arizona State was the 4. Well, then a group of 5 team like Boise State will never get in the top 4 ever again. It was 1 year, one and done. Bam, can't have that anymore. That was my initial reaction to the news from yesterday.
This will be the final year of the 12-team playoff, and they're going to 14 or 16 in 2026.
Well, it will get to 16.
Top 4 seeds will get first-round byes regardless if it won a conference title. Conference champs will still get auto bids, but are seeded based on ranking.
Yep.
So that just would have been the horrible situation where the Big Ten and SEC title game, it could have been, why am I going to play people?
Well,
not much on the line here, but there was the other unfortunate thing was Oregon. Oregon went undefeated, got the 1 seed, and they didn't get any. There's no benefit.
No, they had a horrible path.
They just you get an extra week off, and then you got to play Ohio State in a Rose Bowl.
Tough, man. Again, they're going to do whatever they can to make it helpful to the big boys, obviously here, and that's unfortunate, but. College football, they'll go to 16 teams at some point. That's inevitable.
Especially if you're talking about could 7 and 5 teams get in. or something
Well,
like that. And
that'll
that's in
be
play because there's so many with the super conferences. There's so many teams, and then how do you determine if there's going to be 4- and 5-way ties? We've already seen it.
Right. Well, it'll come down to let's use a 4-loss team here. If a team has 4 losses and they play everybody, like they have a loaded conference schedule and they have like 3 really difficult non-conference games, I'm sorry, I'd still look at a team like that at 8-4 over a team like Indiana last year. Because they played absolutely nobody in conference.
Yeah.
Huge break for that team.
Well,
and by the way, teams are not going to be able to control like how many other teams on their schedule are going to be piss poor that year,
that's
or
true.
any given year.
Yeah, that's true. But you also all these conferences need to play the same amount of conference games too.
Yes.
That's the other thing.
And they have
that needs to be done.
Going back to your original point here, we just have to eliminate conference title games. They're completely unnecessary.
Yep.
Been screaming that from the mountaintops for many, many years.
Well, you're going to go to 16 maybe, and then also keep conference. Come on.
What's the point?
How long's the season going to go?
I know. Well, already it goes till January 20th?
Yeah.
So, you might not get as much sharp money in this contest as you think. Is that real or fugazi? Next here on VSiN.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.